I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
United States of America.
And one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Andy, are you underway for the meeting?
Okay, anybody wishing to address the board in the public hearing, when you come to the microphone, please state your name and address for the record.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, good afternoon. Jerry Bloom, at 24 Fairfield Avenue.
Which guy's on the record?
Riverside Park Road is still unpaved, and we're going on 3 years. I've been asking you to do this for what? Going on 3 years now. Perhaps next year. Also, as I mentioned last month, please do not have Santa Claus riding on the fire truck cruising through town with lights and sirens on. All right, so since Mayor Loretti will not sign up with the Department of Homeland Security with the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1996, specifically Section 287G, the taxpayers will continue to pay the salaries of our police department. Whereas if you would sign up with the DHS, they would pay it for us. It would save, I don't know, $1 million, $2 million a year. Maybe you could sock that away onto a new project, or better yet, lower our taxes. That's a thought.
How about giving it to the Board of Ed?
Okay. Also, we have some major construction projects going on here in town and have now for some years, and the illegal aliens are working them, which is a crime. They are taking jobs away from American citizens. That's another reason to sign up. I don't know if you noticed that we have 2 food vendors parked in the parking lot adjacent to Big Y. One is flying a Mexican flag on his truck, the other a Jamaican flag on his truck.
That was your friend.
Also, the illegal aliens continue to suck up off SNAP and welfare at the expense of taxpayers, who also cover their health care and education. Illegal aliens also are primary cause of the housing crisis, since the supply cannot keep up with the demand. And of course, the daily horror stories we hear nationwide every day that are committed by illegal aliens, not to mention they pose a national security threat. This is not something that's brand new. We've been watching this evolve now for years. And you, Mayor Loretti, because you failed to sign up with DHS to do something about it, you are complicit in these issues. So the bottom line, it's like, gosh. All right. The nationwide, chiefly the blue states, sign up. Liberals and Democrats who worship DEI are complicit with all of this. With the issues that I just mentioned. It comes down to, if you're not part of the solution, you are part of the problem. Thank you.
Hey. Anyone else wishing to address the board? Name and address for the record.
Dave Eldridge, 17 Seneca Road, Shelton. I'm here to speak about 2 Mohawk Drive. I drove by there this morning. It's no secret. It's been a big issue in the papers. The residents there, about the 40 apartments reduced to 30 on less than a 3/4 acre lot. This morning went by. They cleared the lot, which they're entitled to as far as taking the trees down. But once they start digging stumps up and doing excavation, they need erosion protection. I did call inland wetlands and zoning, and he just informed me that he went out there 3 times today, and he says it's a unusual situation because of where the hill meets Mohawk, Long Avenue, and near, which would run off into River Road. But that doesn't stop them from putting some type of erosion material ahead of that, closer to the road, to prevent any silt, dirt, debris rolling into the road as they're taking that hump out of the road. It doesn't stop them from putting a silt fence in further back when that excavation is done. So we're only talking about, he's talking about a small section of that where there's an unusual situation. But there should be some type of cease and desist order put on there till they can figure out how not to have any debris and silt run into this 3-way intersection. That once that silt and sand get into those roads before those stop signs into River Road, can cause another traffic hazard because the braking power from the vehicle is able to stop. So if you could maybe look into that, John, Alderman Duncan, and see what could be done as soon as possible to put a cease and desist order until they could get the proper silt erosion fabrication up. And that's it. Wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and God bless America.
Anyone else wishing to address the board? Hearing none, seeing none. We'll close the public portion and move on to the regular scheduled agenda. Okay, we have the minutes for approval. We have the Board of Aldermen regular meeting of November 13th, 2025, the special meeting of November 18th, 2025, the special meeting of December 2nd, 2025, and the special public hearing of December 2nd, 2025.
Move to waive the reading and approve the minutes of the November 13th, November 18th, December 2nd, December 2nd, regular meeting and November 13th, special meeting November 18th, special meeting December 2nd, and special public hearing December 2nd. So moved.
Motion is made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries. Takes us to item 5.1, 5.2, and 5.3, the Finance Committee, the Public Health and Safety Committee, and the Street Committee. There are no items. I have no report at this point. Alderman English?
Yeah, I just want to pick up on what Dave said. We were both just briefed by Ron Via, and I think there's the way this 2 Mohawk drivers started off. Is it on?
It's better.
Way this 2 Mohawk drivers started off is a disaster, and I think what we've got to do, we've got to take a look at it, put our heads together, and they're willing. We can talk with Dominic Thomas, who's the attorney representing them, but it just goes right back into the same mode. And this was a special incident this morning, and Ron was on top of it. But just hold it up, just like he said, hold it up. Get your ducks in order. I mean,
Well, look at this, the sediment erosion control is a function of planning and zoning, and it's generally a condition of approval. So if it's not a condition of approval, then maybe the Planning and Zoning Commission has to reconvene on this topic. The other point that I would tell you is that the zoning enforcement has the authority to shut the job down. If they're down there today, they either deemed that it wasn't appropriate, or maybe tomorrow that'll change.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they didn't do an awful lot of work down there. And, I know the people don't like it. Unfortunately, it was a court mandated settlement, and, we have to live with it. That's the world we live in today. People, if they're dissatisfied with what's going on locally, they need to call their state representatives and their state senators. And I mean statewide, because this is an issue that's not going to go away anytime soon. with these affordable housing applications, and they're problematic. So, you know, you can talk about what we're gonna do. We can't do anything.
Well,
It's in the hands of the planning and zoning administrator and zoning officials.
there are some things we can do, and number one, we keep the pressure on. There's absolutely no reason for them to shut down our streets and to impact the living conditions for the people that have lived there in peace and quiet for years. Now, I understand it's a construction job and it's gonna take time and so forth. But for God's sakes, you know what you're up against. You know, just reach out and let us know what's going on. I asked them for a report, what they're going to be doing, so we can anticipate what may be some of the problems. And I haven't got nothing yet. And every time I call, it's this one, it's that one, but it's not getting any better. So you just gotta keep our nose to the stone and keep pounding away and see what impact we can have on them. I think they look like a bunch of ragbaggers, to be honest with you. Nothing seems to be planned, nothing, it just happens, no notice to anybody what's going on. It's a special site, it's different. It's not like Jimmy Body's site where, you know, it's a big site. This is, everything is congested.
Okay, moving along, item number 6, legislative hold items from public hearing. We have item 6.1, the amendment to ordinance 712, the hearing procedure for municipal citations.
Move, move to approve the amendment to ordinance number 712, hearing procedure for municipal citations, which is included by reference. Further, move that this ordinance be published in summary form with a full copy available for review in the office of the city town clerk. Public hearing was held December 2nd, 2005. So moved.
The motion is made and seconded. The amendment to the ordinance is also stated at the bottom of this motion, so by reference, we don't have to repeat it, but just know that those were the changes that were made. It's about the hearing officer that receives compensation in the amount of $200 per diem for a full hearings. Okay, any discussion? All those in favor? Are there any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7 is financial business old. There are no items. Item number 8, financial business new. We have item 8.1 is December statutory refunds.
Move that the reported tax collected relative to the refund of taxes for a total amount of $20,142.27 be approved, and that the finance director be directed to make payments in accordance with the certified list received from the tax collector with funds to come from the statutory refunds account. So moved.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries.
That was a delayed response. Peter.
He was online.
It wasn't
Bernie Simons and Ben.
Burning.
Okay, item 8.2 is the funding for 2 fire trucks, the adoption of the new town savings bank resolution, which we're not going to read in its entirety, but it is, you do have it for you. And it will be in the record. So
I'll read
the opening paragraph, sure.
Move to adopt the following resolution as presented with the proposal letter as part of the document and as authorized at the July 7th, 2022 Board of Aldermen special meeting for the purchase of 2 fire trucks. And
Okay, so the motion is made and seconded by Alderman Simonetti. For the benefit of the public, this is a 5-year note, and it's in the amount of $1,877,000, and that's for the purchase of 2 fire trucks. And Bruce, correct me if I'm wrong, we ordered them, what, 3 years ago?
yeah, there's
3 years ago, was it? Yeah.
Excuse me for interrupting. In paragraph 1, there's a blank that council is going to fill in for us tonight. The date, third line, the fourth line down.
Fran?
The letter was issued
Right here.
today, it's December 11th.
December 11th.
Okay, so the motion is made, it's seconded. Any questions, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries. I know one of these days I'm gonna take one of these new fire trucks and drive it around. Just like,
Santa Claus?
just like these other guys, you know? One of these days, Mike.
Throw out popcorn balls.
Item 8.3, funding for the Mohegan School roof, the adoption of the Newtown Savings Bank resolution.
Move to adopt the following resolutions presented with the proposal letter as part of the document and is authorized at the March 13th, 2025 Board of Aldermen regular meeting for funding of the Mohegan School roof.
Second.
And that's the same date, December
Yeah.
11th.
Okay, motion is made and seconded. Any discussion? As this board knows, that this was a roof that we put on Mohegan School that was completed, I want to say back in September at some point in time. The final cost was what, Fran? 1.5 million?
Didn't you? Was $1,524,346.63.
And that does not reflect the reimbursement that we get from the state of Connecticut?
Reimbursement would be $587,940. So the cost comes to be $936,406.63 if the state of Connecticut allows the additional costs that were submitted.
Okay, everybody understand that? There's approximately 38% reimbursement rate from the state of Connecticut on these school projects. That's what Shelton's reimbursement rate is. So the roof costs 1.5. And we up front of the money, as you know, and we're gonna pay probably 900,000, I guess, right? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries. I do want to note again, Alderman Bernie Simons, who's chairman of the Public Improvements Building Committee, spearheaded this along with Jason Neves on the Board of Education and got this thing done. This project sat for approximately a year and a half to close to 2 years until they took ownership of it and got it over the goal line. Okay, this takes us to item 8.4, funding for the purchase of 4 used propane buses.
Move per the recommendation of the finance director to waive the bidding process for the purchase of 4 used propane Bluebird school buses in an amount of $6,600 with funding to come from contingency general account. So moved.
Second. Motion is made and seconded for discussion purposes. I don't believe that this dollar amount purchase reaches the threshold for a bid waiver. So a bid waiver is not necessary. It is part of the motion. You can just leave it alone, but for your own edification, just understand that.
How do you get 4 buses for $6,600?
Right there, here it is.
I mean, that's crazy.
Well, we sat here last month and bought 5 buses for close to 11,000 that were probably better than the buses that we have in services right now in terms of mileages. I will say that our buses are very well maintained. We spent a lot of money over maintenance over the years. This will help us ease the maintenance cost because we have more buses.
Mm-hmm.
When we started out, we had 60 buses. We had 60 bus routes. 12 years later, I think we have 53 or 54 routes and close to 70 buses now. Well, over 70 buses because last year we bought 8 new ones and then we just bought 10 more. So that's 18 to 60. So do the math. And
I think one of the questions that didn't get answered that you asked was, Well, these are propane buses that were used by the city of New Haven at one time, I believe.
Yeah.
And nobody seems to want them and they're in very good condition. They were on short runs. They don't even have the mileage.
It's $1,800 a bus. How do we do that? I mean,
Look at look at
you can't buy a car for $1,800.
I know. Well, when there's no market for
Get by
stuff,
the
then the prices
tires.
get real good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is great, and it should be announced to the city that this is what we're doing.
I want to make a comment here. It bears repeating that at one time, the bus program was run by the Board of Education. In the not too distant future. And the way the funding went was something like this. They negotiate, go out for bids, hear me. And lo and behold, they pick a low bidder. And that low bidder just took everything out of our inside except what really matters. The last contract I remember was for this company was going to run the bus program. And then it was for like $5 million it did cost us for the buses, right? Over 5 years. And then at the end of that 5 years, the Board of Education made the decision that the buses would belong to the guy that ran them, to the company that ran them, had no stake in the thing, no money up front, nothing. That guy took the buses, used buses after 5 years, sold them for like $2,500,000, put the money in his pocket. And we looked like, what's going on? So the mayor says, let's think about this. Let us run the bus program day and night. 5 million over 5 years. And they were worth 2.5 million, and we gave that 2.5 million away.
No, we actually didn't do that, John. They did that in years going by when we bought the buses for 5.5 million and it came time to renew the operator's contract. We said no.
Yeah.
They were going up by $1.2 million a year for 3 years. We said no. We told the Board of Education, you can get into contract with them, but the city owns the buses and they're not driving our buses. That's the long and the short of it. And so we ended up in court and we prevailed and here we are today. Stabilizing cost. So when I say publicly to the Board of Education, they have to learn how to manage their money. That's a classic example of it.
Yep.
Learn how to manage your money. So I'm not going to get on the Board of Education soapbox right now, but stay tuned in the next coming months.
But for the program, and everybody, there was, excuse the language, but the general public at that time was bitching and moaning. Oh, the buses aren't here on time. Oh, all kinds of complaints. The bus program right now runs like clockwork. We own the buses, we run the program, and we provide the service. Not a complaint in the last. All right, and the complaint would come from the parents or, they got the buses now where the parents know where the bus is, when the buses are, where it's gonna ride. It's a day and night. It's a great program.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item number 9, legislative new. There are no items. There is no items for executive session. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Second.
It was made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed?
No.
Everyone have a wonderful weekend and a very Merry Christmas and prosperous New Year's. Thank you.
Had an accident at 3:30 and I was really thinking,
What year?
I'm leaving.